We're Mollie and Rosie Kmita, and we're here to give you an exclusive behind-the-scenes tour of London City Lionesses' brand new training ground. Yeah, and this is ahead of the brand new season kicking off on September the 8th. And luckily, Rose, we found a little tour guide in Megan Campbell. Meg, you ever given a tour before?
Never, but I've been getting some tips off Adele, so let's see how this goes.
Let's go. Right, let's go.
Come on into my
Oh. Yeah, it's like it's nice.
Actually. This is the lounge area where we chill.
Lovely. And in terms of like players' lounge, I do think this place is really important, right? Because in between doing the work, I feel like this is where you build your rapport, your connections with other players. Is that the case?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, it's so important. We were saying last season there wasn't a space like this, and we thought, right, we really need something that's going to help the players gel when you're not training, when you've got downtime in between meals, training sessions. Like, you need somewhere to be able to just switch off.
100%.
And obviously with loads of new players, it's so important.
And how important is that dynamic between having like younger players, older players? It's important, isn't it?
Yeah, I think the experience of older players and the clubs that they've been at previously, and they can take those experiences here, whether they've won trophies, whether they've experienced Champions League, the WSL, whether we want to be as a club. But then the mixture of the youth coming through, I mean, everything's changing now. The landscape of football is changing, and I mean, I wish I had this when I was growing up. But the opportunities are being given to younger players sooner, and it's great to see. But yeah, that mixture is obviously fantastic, and you need it within the squad.
Right, Meg, obviously we're on the Astro now, but give us a little bit of an insight into what it's like walking around this 23-acre training ground every single day.
Takes a long time.
Yeah, get our steps in today, girls.
No, it's obviously great to see the difference from when I joined in January to now. The facilities changing, the gym changing, the project with the pitches, and where Michelle wants to take this club is obviously very ambitious, and it's fantastic to see. You can see it daily. It's not just something that's been talked about, it's actually been done, and you can see it with your eyes. So it's really good to see that progress, and hopefully it continues, and by the end of the season next year, who knows, this place could look completely different.
And like for all of the players here to just know that there's that long-term plan in place, a long-term project to look forward to, how important is that? It must give you like a little bit more of a lease of life going into a new season.
Yeah, 100%. You know that you've got the backing of the club, you know you've got the backing of Michelle and those people above who are striving for us to be successful, which then takes all that stress away from you, and you can just focus on the football stuff. And it's not going to be easy, we know that. The championship is obviously getting harder year on year, and new teams like Newcastle, Portsmouth coming into it, it's going to make it even harder to get out. But we've got one aim, and that's to be promoted at the end of next year, so no pressure.
Love that.
No pressure.
No pressure, God.
And obviously you mentioned Michelle Kang there, and we've got to speak about her. We cannot be on site without speaking about Michelle. But, you know, she's put huge investment into the club, got huge ambitions for the club. Was that firstly a huge attraction to you signing here? And secondly, what's it like playing under her?
Yeah, for me, it was when they got in contact with me, the drive, the ambition was there, the talks and the thought process of where we want to take London City and how successful we want to be as a club. It's something that I want to obviously strive to continue to do within my career, not just settle for playing football. I still want to be successful, win trophies and help teams where I can. And I think for me too, I've also played in this division, and I know where the team wants to go, and I've played in the WSL, so hopefully my experiences can help both the younger ones and obviously other players who have not maybe experienced this, like the internationals coming in. Michelle, obviously playing under Michelle is fantastic. the pressure is there, but I mean, as players you want to have pressure. You don't want to just be
100%.
You know, sitting and comfortable. You want to be under pressure and want to be able to have that backing, but also the pushing behind you going, you need to get promoted.
Absolutely.
Have
Love
plans.
that. Yeah,
Absolutely.
I love that.
Obviously, just going in, he's been at PSG, worked in China, obviously worked in the French league and being a player himself. So he's got many experiences that he's brought into this club and wanting us to be successful. He's brilliant. He's brought in his own coaching staff and stuff like that with him as well, and his drive and ambition for us to be successful, and just daily the positive energy that he gives to the team. He's probably one of the most approachable managers that I've ever had. He really wants feedback from players. He really wants players to be involved in how we are successful as a club and as a team on the pitch. But he's just been like a breath of fresh air to come into the club, and obviously it's probably a stressful time for him too, because success is something that is needed. And we're obviously working within new parameters and trying to change things along the way. So it's probably really stressful for him, and I probably wouldn't like to be in this job right now. But yeah, he's a really good manager and a great person to have around the team.
But do you know what? We spoke earlier about, obviously, you made the adjustment, and there must be a little bit of homesickness sometimes creeping in. So like, how do you best deal with that when you are away from your family? Because you said earlier, you spent majority of your career up north with your family.
Yeah, being able to find dog-friendly accommodation down here is nice, because then the missus and the dogs can come down. But obviously, if we have 2 days off together, I'll probably go up on the train or drive up if I can. Sometimes if the drive's too long and I can't deal with that, so the train is ideal. But FaceTime, social is mad, and phones are brilliant nowadays. I can contact family back in Ireland. We have a family group chat, so I'm always in contact with them. Yeah, FaceTime's a big one for me.
100%. Well, do you know what? I've heard, Rose, there's a decent little gym upstairs.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I've heard, and
Okay.
you could do it getting on the weight. So let's. Right, let's head up there and have a look at the gym. Oh,
look at
yes.
You can smell how new it is, right?
Lovely.
Absolutely incredible. Right, do you know what? We've got to know. What do you typically get up to? Morning routine. What's your session look like?
Well, what piece of equipment don't I bloody use? We come in here as a team, foam roll stretch, do whatever you need to do individually. We'll all have our own programs on our phones, go through that for about 15 minutes. And then after that, Tyler, one of the S&Cs, comes in and he goes through some more dynamic movements to get us prepped for whatever the session then entails.
Right, and I've got to ask, right? Obviously, you are known for your throws. I've got to ask the question.
True.
Are you in here doing the old bicep curls, doing shoulder press to get better at the throws? What?
Be honest as well,
Do you think it
please.
plays a part?
No.
Really?
So what, has that just been a natural thing since you were younger?
Yeah, I've had it since I was like 13, 14 growing up. So it's not something I've ever had to train. So I'm like, if I lift weight, I feel like it would just go downhill. So I tend to just stay away as much as I can from doing actual dynamic work on it. When I was in America, I used to have to throw med balls and then drop the
That's
med
what I was
balls, throw the
thinking.
football, but
Yeah.
since then I've not done it.
You've not done it?
Right, girls, you know what? I've done enough walking today. All right, let's take a little seat on the bench. All right, Rose?
Do you know what this bench is?
Well, I do, yeah. Yeah, I do a bit in the gym sometimes.
Do you?
Yeah. Don't you start. Don't you start. Look, obviously, brand new gym, brand new training facility, but not just that, actually a brand new home ground as well at Bromley. So how excited are we to be playing there this season?
Yeah, obviously it's a, like you said, brand new facility. We haven't seen it yet. We haven't been there on the grass. We've just seen pictures of it. New hybrid pitch that obviously Michelle and Bromley have come to an agreement over, and so we're really looking forward to it. It's obviously the best of the best, brand new, and hopefully it gives us some success.
Yeah, absolutely. And you've got Newcastle United at home. Ooh. First game of the season.
Yeah.
How are we feeling about that?
If you're going to start, you might as well start hard. Eh? No, it's obviously a brand new team. We don't really know much about them. Mine is hopefully being able to see some footage if they play some pre-season friendlies. So it's going to be tough. I don't think any game in this league is going to be easy this season. But especially when you start off against Newcastle, a team that haven't been in the league before. So you don't really know what to expect with them. And we are right now focusing ourselves on how we can improve as a team, gel together, get better defensively and attackingly, and we'll go from there. All the focus will be on us for the next 2 weeks until the week of the game, and then we'll start to probably look towards Newcastle on how we can get the better of them. I think they're playing some good, tough opponents in their pre-season friendly, so they'll have played some of the best teams as well in the WSL to then come into our game prepared. Hopefully we're more prepared than them.
Well, we hope so. But Meg, listen, thank you so much for taking us on a tour today. I've loved it.
I've loved it as well.
Absolutely loved it. And make sure you're tuning in to the opening weekend of the Barclays Women's Championship across the 8th and 9th of September. We'll see you then.